So, have you ever thought about a sacred text, not just as a book of words, but as something, well, almost like a mathematical equation? It's a pretty wild idea, right? But that's exactly the claim we're going to dive into today. We're looking at an analysis that says hidden just beneath the surface of the Quran, there's this deliberate, absolutely perfect numerical design. To even begin to understand this, the analysis we're looking at starts us off with this specific verse. It talks about the creation, the universe, and how you won't find any inconsistency, any breaks in it. It's all about perfect, seamless balance. And this idea of cosmic harmony, that's the lens we're supposed to use to look at the Quran itself. So that naturally leads to the big question, the one this whole analysis is built on. What if that same perfect balance isn't just out there in the stars in the sky? What if it's actually encoded, mathematically, right into the very structure of the Holy Book? All right, let's get right into the core claim here. The argument being made is that the Quran isn't just a collection of verses and chapters. No, it's something way more. It's supposedly this meticulously constructed, well, a mathematical building, an edifice. The source we're looking at even has a name for this concept. They call it divine architecture. And the idea is pretty straightforward, but also kind of mind-blowing, that a deliberate, complex mathematical design is literally woven into the fabric of the text, mirroring that same perfect order we see in the universe. Okay, so if this crazy complex architecture really exists, where do you even start? How do you see it? Well, the analysis points us to one specific chapter, a single surah, claiming it's like a main portal, the key that unlocks the whole system. So, where does this all kick off? It starts with a number, the number 15. Why 15? Because that's the chapter number for Surah Al-Hijr. And according to this analysis, this is our main entry point into the whole mathematical framework. And right after that, we get our second key number, 99. Now, why is that important? Because this chapter, chapter 15, has exactly 99 verses. And the analysis immediately points out that this is a direct parallel to the 99 traditional names of God in Islam. A pretty significant connection, right? Now, this is where things get really interesting. The analysis zooms in on what it says is the first major piece of evidence. Hidden somewhere inside this portal chapter, it claims to have found a code that points to a really fundamental mathematical principle. So where's this supposed code? It's in verse 87 of that same chapter, chapter 15. But here's the twist. The focus isn't on what the words mean. It's all about their precise position in the sentence. Okay, you're going to want to pay close attention here because this is a quick reveal. The analysis first pinpoints the third word of the verse. And then it moves to the fourth word, the one right after it. And finally, you guessed it, the fifth word. So lock those numbers in your head. 3, 4, and 5. So what's the big deal with 3, 4, and 5? Well, here's the kicker. The positions of those three specific words, 3, 4, and 5, they form a perfect 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And this, the source claims, isn't an accident. It's a hidden signature of perfect mathematical balance embedded right there in the text. Okay, so from that one tiny detail in a single verse, the analysis zooms way out to look at the entire Quran. The argument is that this mathematical precision isn't just some isolated thing. It's something that protects the whole book in what it calls a master frame. So what is this master frame? Well, according to this argument, it's created by the very first time and the very last time the specific word Al-Quran appears in the text. The first time is in Surah 2, and the last time is way over in Surah 85. And here is where it all supposedly connects. If you take the chapter numbers for that frame, so chapter 2 and chapter 85, and you add them together, what do you get? You get 87. And according to this analysis, that is not a coincidence. It's meant to connect the grand architecture of the entire book right back to that key verse we were just looking at, verse 87 of chapter 15. See how it loops back? So how does this whole thing come together? The analysis wraps it all up with one final grand equation. It's designed to tie all these different pieces, the portal chapter, the verses, the master frame, into one single cohesive formula. Let's just walk through it together. It all starts with 15, right? That's the chapter number of our portal, Surah Al-Hijr. Then you add 99 to it, That's the number of verses in that chapter, which, remember, also mirrors the 99 names of God. And what's the sum? 15 plus 99 equals 114. And what's 114? It's the exact total number of chapters in the entire Quran. But look, according to this analysis, this isn't just a fun numbers game. It's meant to lead you somewhere. The very last verse of that key chapter, verse 99 of Surah 15, tells believers to worship until yaqeen, or certainty, arrives. So the argument is that this whole mathematical structure is basically a pathway, almost like a logical proof, designed to take you from just knowing something to having absolute, unshakable faith. So when you step back, the claims in this book really do present a fascinating perspective. It's proposing this whole world of mathematical order hidden in plain sight. And it kind of leaves us with a final big question, doesn't it? If a system like this, based on numbers, is actually real, what other patterns, what other hidden architectures might still be out there, just waiting to be discovered?